Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Jhawk here and welcome to the off season. This is part 1 like I went over after the finals ended. Today we will go over the new teams in the league along with player retirement and staff retirements. If we have anybody going into the Hall of Fame, we will also look at that plus the jersey retirements. And then we'll go over league meetings, make sure everybody's in the right division and conference, and then to wrap up the video we will go over the draft lottery. So this should be a fun, exciting video. But with that being said, let's start it out with the relocated teams. Alright guys, let's go ahead and show off our new teams. Old team will be right here, while the new team will pop up over here in a second. We'll start it out. The Eastern Conference only has 2 new teams, and the first thing we will mention is the Atlanta Thrashers being relocated after a rough season where they finished as one of the worst teams in the conference. And they have been relocated to Miami, Florida to become the Miami Tropics. Yes, sir. Look at that. The Tropics returned. They used to be a team in 2K21 when we did our custom league there. And they do return for Season 4 here on 2K22. And new colors this time. Instead of being blue and orange like they used to be, they're now featured with pink, which I like pink. Pink is a very manly color. So for those that say that pink is not a manly color, you are wrong. But we have the Miami Tropics replacing the Atlanta Thrashers. So our other Eastern Conference team that will be moving is the Carolina Cougars, as they finished with the worst record in the league this year, where they tied with Minneapolis. But the Cougars will be relocating to Orlando, as we have the Orlando Waves. So now we have 4 teams in the state of Florida, with Miami and Orlando now joining Tampa Bay and the Florida Hedgehogs. So it's 4 teams out in Florida. That should definitely be fun. Let's move on to our teams out west, and I just mentioned Minneapolis, so we will start with them. The Lumberjacks finishing tied with Carolina for the worst record in the league this year, and they will be moving to Detroit, Michigan to become the Detroit Hot Rods. The Hot Rods, good team name for Detroit, which is also known as the Motor City. So good team name, good colors right here for their team. We'll move on to our next Western Conference team, as there are 4 of them. And our second one is Seattle. The Sea Dragons are being moved after a rough season. Devin Booker and company just couldn't get it done, and they will be relocating to Portland. Did I say Devin Booker? Did I just say Devin Booker? No, Devin Booker didn't play for Seattle. I'm thinking back to my 2K21 days. But anyway, Seattle, yes, is moving to Portland to become the Skyhawks. This is one of the coolest logos. Cool team design right here. Their uniforms look nice too. Can't wait for you guys to see all the uniforms of the new teams. Our next team is Arizona, the Rattlers. Rough season. Did I just say Rattlers? Is that Rattlers? I'm going back and forth now because I'm thinking about 2K21 teams. So, but yeah, it's the Rattlers. It's right here, Jordan. But they are moving to Salt Lake City, Utah, as the Salt Lake City team finally gets to be presented in our franchise. They had one for 21, but didn't get to be in use. But 22, we get them in use, as they are the Salt Lake City Pioneers. So we're in Utah now. We got 2 teams out there with the Utah Range also. Our final team that's being relocated is the New Orleans Blues Jazz. My bad. What the fuck? I was thinking my MLB with the Blues, but the Jazz of New Orleans are being relocated, and they're moving to Austin, Texas to become the Austin Oilers. Austin, Texas now has a team, and they're finally in the league for the first time. We didn't get to use them in 2K21 either. But welcome all 6 new teams into the league. We hope for success. Hopefully none of these teams will be in this video next year to be relocated away from where they are. Hope not. But let's keep it moving in part 1 of the off season. Alright guys, I hope you guys are excited about all 6 of our teams joining the league. It's going to be interesting seeing 3 teams in now the states of Florida and 3 teams in the state of Texas now, as Florida now has the Florida Hedgehogs, the Miami Tropics, and the Orlando Wave. While, did I say Texas? Texas doesn't have 3 teams. Whoops. Alright, but anyways, let's go ahead and go into player retirement. You guys remember my rule. If there is a player that is above an 80 overall, he is being forced to stay in the league at least 1 more year. You only get 1 forced retirement, so let's go ahead. And the first one that pops up is Dwight, or I said Dwight Howard. I looked at Dwight Howard. LeBron wants to retire, but LeBron is not retiring. You have to come back, sir. And then everybody else is under 70. It looks like we got a bunch of players down here that are wanting to retire. Dwight Howard is going to call it a career. Did not get picked up by anybody at 74 overall. His career will come to an end. JJ Redick comes to an end, and he's on that new Portland team that's replacing Seattle. But while he was in Seattle, he averaged 5.4 points per game, so good for him. Trevor Ariza will call it a career. LaMarcus Aldridge is also calling it a career. Didn't play. Marc Gasol will call it a career. For Cleveland this year, he had 2.3 points per game for them. Thaddeus Young, Al Horford calls it a career. Didn't get picked up by anybody. CJ Miles, DeAndre Jordan's gone. Just making sure everybody is above a... Did I say 80? Or is it 75? I can't remember. Rubio's gone. You know what? Just for the sake of it, or being safe, anybody at 75 will bring back. So LA's coming back. Al Horford's coming back. DeAndre Jordan's coming back. George Hill's gone. Davis gone. Patterson gone. Ricky Rubio comes back. Yeah, Aaron Baines, Mason Plumlee gone. Greg Monroe, Mario Chalmers, Mike Scott. Ben McLemore comes back. Frank Ntilikina is going to be... Why is he retiring at such a young age? I feel like we just bring back young players just for make sure that they don't retire. But I'm just going to keep it moving, honestly. Just see if we have anybody else down here that is above a 75. We got a 73 right there in Ramsey. But it looks like everybody else is... Yeah, we got a bunch of 50 overalls now. We got a 70 down here and Jameer Young. But yep, that's all we got for those. So we brought back the 75s and above. Dwight Howard missed a cut. I think he's like one of the only ones. Thaddeus Young's a 74 also. Yeah, but we you know what, just bring Dwight back for 1 more year. Thaddeus Young, we'll just let you walk, big dog. But yep, that's the retirement screen. Not anybody really retiring. Any staff people retiring. The Steam are losing their head coach and assistant coach. That's rough. I don't override them. Hall of Fame inductions, we now don't have anybody. Jersey retirements now don't have anybody. League meetings. Looks like everything else is going to just stay the same. Everybody's rejecting everything. I don't think there's anything that I would want to put in the league this year. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I would want to put to this team. All-star teams will be determined by the top vote getters in their respective conferences. Oh. Shot clock is still going to stay the same, guys. Foul out rule still the same. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that we might want to be changing here. Eliminate goaltending. That's funny. I'm eventually going to do this sudden death. I think that I'm going to do that for season 5. Yep, nothing I need to change. So we're just going to keep everything that looked like league realignment. This is basically just make sure everybody is where they need to be. We just got to make sure everybody is exactly where they need to be. So that's Meaning I'm bringing up my form so I can look at all these teams and make sure that they're in the right conferences and divisions and all that. And then maybe sort them by alphabetical order, who knows. But let's see. Starting in the Atlantic Division. Yep, see, we already got one messed up. Because DC's here. St. Louis. See, this is why I go over this now. We got teams that are not in their correct conferences and stuff. So let me work on this now. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this off the recording so it doesn't take for long, and I'll show you guys when I get done. Alright guys, now we have the conferences correct. DC, Baltimore, Montreal, New York, and Pittsburgh. All are still here in the Atlantic. The Central with Cincinnati, Cleveland, Indianapolis, Nashville, Toronto, and Illinois. And then the Southeast now has all the new teams with Miami, Orlando, Memphis, Tampa, Richmond, and Florida. So technically we actually have 4 teams in Florida. That's wild. Anyways, moving on to the Northwest, we have Portland, Milwaukee, Minnesota, Detroit, Alaska, and Oakland. The Pacific has Las Vegas, LA, Utah, LA, Salt Lake City, and Nevada. And the Southwest has Kansas City, Austin, OKC, Iowa, St. Louis, and Colorado Springs. Got our conferences all correct, and now it brings us to the last part of this video, which is the draft lottery. The best odds go to the top 2 teams, Detroit and Orlando having 13.5. Miami has 13.4. But let's get into it. Starting it out, number 20 is predicted to be Las Vegas, and it will be Las Vegas. The Outlaws will pick number 20. Next up, number 19, we have the Harvesters projected, and St. Louis is actually going to pick number 19. The Harvesters jumped into the top 4 just from that. So Milwaukee projected to be 18, and they do get number 18. That's crazy. So right now Indianapolis is up for a top 4 pick. I'm going to write this down and make my predictions when we get there. OKC up next, and they are going to pick number 17. Here we go, number 16. We have the Iowa Pigs projected, and that 16 is going to be the Iowa Pigs. Next up, we have number 15, which is projected to be the Rockers of Cleveland. And Cleveland will, in fact, pick number 15 in the draft. Up next is number 14. We have Tampa as the projected team. And Tampa will pick number 14. What's crazy is Indianapolis has a 1% chance for the number 1 pick, and they've already leapfrogged into the top 4. Pittsburgh projected at 13, and they will have number 13. Now we have number 12. This is projected Memphis. They're closing in on the 2% thing of projection, and Memphis will pick number 12. Number 11 is DC, projected here, right at 11. Whatever. But they do get in the number 11 pick. Now we're in the top 10. New York Nightmare projected, and the Nightmare do get the 10th pick for the draft. Number 9 projected pick is the Empire. And Salt Lake City is going to get the number 9 pick. And now the New York Empire have made their way into the top 4. Portland projected right here, and they will get the number 8th pick. That would be crazy if they're getting a top 4 pick to pair with Giannis. Austin projected here at number 7, and it will go to the Los Angeles Knights. So the Austin Oilers are now in the top 4. We only have one team in the top 4 projected here. Oh, and Orlando will get the number 6 pick. Number 6. Here we go. Number 5 is projected to be the Hot Rods. And it will be the Hot Rods. So now we're in a spot where it's going to be either Miami, Austin, the Empire, or Indianapolis with the number 1 pick. The 4th projected pick, or the 4th pick, will go to the Indianapolis Harvesters. So they go from 19 to 4, so they can't complain about that. Number 3, we have New York, Austin, and Miami left. At 3, it will be the Miami Tropics. It's down to Austin and New York. Oh my God, if New York gets the #1 pick, they're going to pair Victor Wembanyama with Giannis. That's dirty. Number 2, the New York Empire. So the Austin Oilers are going to be the #1 picking team for the draft. At 9.9% odds, they will get the #1 pick in the draft. So congrats to Austin. Here's the exact draft order for everybody. Austin, New York Empire, Miami, Indianapolis, Detroit, Orlando, LA Knights, Portland, Salt Lake City, New York Nightmare, DC, Memphis, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, Cleveland, Iowa, OKC, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Las Vegas, Florida, Minnesota, Richmond, Alaska, Nevada, Cincinnati, Toronto, Oakland, LA Palms, Illinois, Nashville, Colorado Springs, Montreal, Baltimore, Utah, and the Bison. So that's the draft order that we have, which means the first part of the offseason has come to an end. Part 2 that you'll see tomorrow is the custom league draft. Hope you guys are excited about that. Should be a fun time. Can't wait to see all the new players in the league. No new custom. I've never put custom prospects in this draft. Probably won't ever happen, honestly. You guys will come through free agency. So I hope you guys are excited to see what teams you guys play for next season. If you still haven't, you still have a little bit of time. Never mind, you probably ran out of time. I probably already closed it. But that'll end part 1. Tomorrow is part 2, the Season 3 Custom League Draft. Hope you guys are excited about this. Make sure, as always, you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Turn on push notifications so you guys don't miss an upload. And with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one.
It takes time. I'm just trying to be the greatest. I gotta keep